Welcome to the MyCitizenAgency channel. If you are considering moving to the European Union after obtaining citizenship, then the path to new opportunities is already open to you. However, the move itself is not only a change of country, but also an important stage of adaptation to a different legal system, standard of living, and business culture. Today, we will discuss what you should pay attention to in order to make your move comfortable and confident. Many people expect that obtaining citizenship automatically solves all issues. In practice, this is only the beginning of a new stage. It is important to think in advance about where you will move, what documents you will need to prepare, how to open a bank account, find housing, and organize your life in your new location. Yes, citizenship gives you the right to live and work in any EU country, move freely, start a business, and use the social system, but living conditions, economic opportunities, and the everyday environment within the EU vary greatly. Therefore, it is important to choose a country consciously, focusing not only on general impressions, but also on your real goals, profession, and usual level of comfort. There are noticeable differences within the European Union in a number of key parameters. Taxes and social contributions. In some countries, the tax burden is higher, but in return, there is more extensive social support and a developed healthcare system. Rental and real estate costs. Prices can vary significantly even between neighboring regions of the same country. Labor market, average salaries, in-demand professions and hiring conditions vary depending on the economic profile of the country. Requirements for renting housing. In some countries, an employment contract is sufficient, while in others you may be asked to provide proof of income for several months, letters of recommendation, and bank statements. There are no universally best or worst countries. There are those that better suit your goals and lifestyle. For example, if your goal is professional growth in IT, engineering, or scientific fields, consider Germany, the Netherlands, Austria, or Denmark. These countries have strong labor markets, a large number of international companies, and developed technology hubs. If you prefer a calm pace of life, a mild climate, and a friendly social environment, consider Portugal, Slovenia, Spain, or Italy. These are comfortable countries to live in by the sea, where work-life balance is valued. Entrepreneurs should take a closer look at Estonia, the Czech Republic, Cyprus, or Malta. These countries are distinguished by their convenient digital infrastructure, simplified business procedures, and a loyal tax approach for small businesses. When choosing a country, it is best to focus on three key guidelines. Goals. What exactly do you want to achieve by moving? Career growth, business, a peaceful lifestyle, access to European education, profession and sources of income, how much they are in demand or easily adaptable in the new environment, personal preferences, climate, language, pace of life, level of social communication. Choosing the right country is the foundation for a successful move and a comfortable future. Even if you already have a European Union passport, the relocation process itself remains an administratively significant step, and certain documents may still be required. These documents confirm your readiness to live and integrate into a new environment. Most countries may request proof of address, a rental agreement, a letter from the host party, or registration at the address where you will be living. In many countries, without registration at your place of residence, it is impossible to open a bank account or access healthcare services. Health insurance, a mandatory requirement for access to the healthcare system. The type of insurance depends on whether you are employed, self-employed, or moving with personal savings. Documents on education and qualifications, diplomas, certificates, and proof of work experience may be required for employment or professional recognition. Sometimes, apostilles and official translations are also required. Income statements for renting accommodation. Landlords want to be sure that the tenant will be able to pay for the accommodation on a regular basis, so they request proof of financial solvency. Translation of documents into the language of the country of residence. This may apply to certificates, diplomas, and references confirming marital status, qualifications, or income. Preparing these documents in advance allows you to avoid situations where you are faced with administrative requirements once you arrive. In such cases, the process can be delayed and some services, such as healthcare or renting, may be temporarily unavailable. Careful planning before moving saves time, reduces stress, and makes the adjustment much more comfortable. Housing is one of the key issues. When planning your move, it is important to determine in advance where and how you will live. Housing plays a key role in adaptation. It is your space of safety, stability, and comfort. Different countries have different approaches to renting and buying real estate, and it is best to take this into account in advance. Renting housing. In many countries, renting is quite strictly regulated. Court practice often protects the interests of tenants, so tenants are chosen carefully. Usually required deposit, on average 1 to 3 months rent. Proof of income, employment contract, bank statements, or income certificates. Sometimes, a letter of recommendation from a previous landlord or employer. If you are just moving and do not yet have an employment contract in your new country, you can use alternative proof of financial stability, a bank statement showing sufficient funds, a contract for future employment, documents about income or business operating in another country. It is important to be prepared for the fact that the search for housing itself can take time, from several weeks to a couple of months, especially in large cities with high demand. Buying real estate. EU citizenship allows you to purchase real estate without any special restrictions. However, the rule is don't rush. It is recommended that you first live in your chosen city or area to assess transport accessibility, the level of security, the convenience of infrastructure, the quality of housing and buildings, the cost of utilities and local taxes. In Europe, houses are often historic, and their maintenance can be more expensive than it seems at first glance. It is also worth clarifying in advance the rules for house maintenance, decisions on repairs, and their distribution among residents. Even if you have citizenship, opening a bank account in some European Union countries may not be as quick a process as it seems. The reason is that banking institutions are required to verify the origin of funds, the tax status of the client, and their connection to their country of residence. This is done as part of pan-European financial control and fraud protection rules. Most often, banks ask for proof of address, a lease agreement or registration at the place of residence, income documents, tax returns, employment contract, or documents about your current business. Information about tax residency, where you pay taxes and at what rates. To avoid delays and repeated requests, it is best to prepare a package of documents in advance. Bank statements from your country for the last 3-6 months, proof of income, certificates, declarations, accounting reports, proof of employment or a business plan if you are planning to do business in the EU. If you are an entrepreneur or freelancer, it is useful to formulate a clear explanation of your source of income and business structure in advance. The more transparent your financial picture is, the faster the bank will make a decision. It is important to note that the EU banking system closely monitors the movement of funds. Any large transactions or transfers must be explainable and documented. Transparency is a key factor that facilitates interaction with banks and reduces the likelihood of checks and delays. If you are planning to move with the intention of working as an employee, it is important to study the labor market in your chosen country in advance. This will help you avoid unreasonable expectations and significantly speed up the adaptation process. Pay attention to several key aspects. Demand for your specialty. In some countries, certain professions are in high demand, for example, IT, medicine, and engineering. In others, demand may be different, and the competitive environment may be more intense. Recognition of qualifications and certificates. Some professions require official recognition of documents or additional certification. This is especially true for doctors, architects, lawyers, and teachers. Confirmation of your diploma and work experience. Sometimes a notarized translation of your diploma is sufficient, while in other cases you will need to go through a nostrification procedure, take exams, or confirm your hours of practice. If your field is entrepreneurship or freelancing, the approach will be slightly different. In this case, it is important to study tax rates and regimes for businesses and independent professionals. Conditions can vary greatly in different EU countries. Check the possibilities for remote company registration and management accounting. In some countries, everything can be done online. Find out about regimes for individual entrepreneurs. In some places, they are particularly advantageous and simplified. qualified. Assess access to European payment services and banking platforms. This affects settlements with customers and suppliers. Having a clear professional plan, whether it's employment, your own business, or remote work, significantly reduces stress in the first few months of life, makes adaptation predictable, and helps you feel more confident in your new place faster. Even if you are moving to a large international city where many people speak English, learning the language of your country of residence will be an important step towards full integration. Knowing the language makes everyday tasks much easier, making a doctor's appointment, communicating with the bank, interacting with government services, getting to know your neighbors and colleagues. In addition, proficiency in the local language increases the level of trust in you in a professional environment and helps you establish business contacts more quickly. It is important to understand that the social and cultural environment varies from country to country. The rhythm of life, communication norms, pace and manner of speech, attitudes toward time, distance, and personal space, all of this may be new to you. For example, in some countries communication is more direct, while in others it is more delicate and unhurried. In some places, professional issues are discussed immediately, while in others it is important to first build a trusting relationship. Daily habits and lifestyle also differ, from the time when it is customary to have lunch to the rules for sorting waste, attitudes towards pets, or communicating with neighbors in the building. Give yourself time to adapt. The process usually takes from several months to a year, and in some cases longer. The first stage is getting used to the little things in everyday life. The second is building social connections. The third is feeling at home and confident in your new environment. The main factors for success here are gradualness, openness, and a willingness to observe, learn, and accept new things without rushing. Each European Union country has its own healthcare model, level of access to doctors, and insurance rules. Therefore, it is important to understand in advance how you will receive medical services after moving. This will save you unnecessary worries and unexpected expenses. Obtaining health insurance. In most countries, insurance is mandatory, and having it confirms your right to use the healthcare system. The conditions for obtaining insurance depend on your status, whether you are employed, self-employed, or moving with your own funds. For some categories, state insurance applies, while for others, private insurance programs apply. What is included in the basic package? The standard set of services may vary. In some places, the basic package already includes doctor consultations, tests, and emergency care, while in others, some services are paid for separately or offered through additional insurance plans. It is important to clarify in advance what is covered and what you will have to pay for yourself. The procedure for making an appointment with a doctor and receiving treatment in private clinics. In some countries, appointments are made through a family doctor, a general practitioner who refers you to a specialist. In others, the system is more flexible. Private clinics often work faster, but the cost of services there is higher, and it is important to understand whether your insurance covers them. By figuring out these issues before you move, you will feel confident, understand where to go when necessary, and avoid situations where a simple medical procedure becomes unexpectedly expensive or inconvenient. Moving to the European Union after obtaining citizenship is a step towards new opportunities, a more predictable legal environment, and expanded prospects for your career and personal life. But for this step to be truly successful, it is important to view it as a process that requires careful thought and preparation. Choosing a country, organizing documents, finding housing, opening a bank account, planning employment or business, adapting to a new social and cultural environment, each of these stages affects how comfortable and confident your life will be after the move. The main principle here is to move forward consistently and consciously. Don't rush, don't rely on chance, and don't expect everything to fall into place by itself. The clearer your plan, the fewer unexpected difficulties you will encounter, and the faster you will feel at home in your new country. If you want to go through this process with professional support, leave a request for a free consultation at the link in the description. We will study your situation, draw up your personal immigration plan, and prepare a complete set of documents for successfully obtaining citizenship in one of the EU countries. We work individually, taking into account your goals, your lifestyle, and your situation. Thank you for watching this video. If you are interested in this topic, subscribe to our channel and feel free to ask questions in the comments. We regularly publish program reviews, answer frequently asked questions, and share important news about immigration law and life in the EU. Your journey to Europe begins with the first step. My Citizen Agency is there for you every step of the way.